Before we went to the car boot on Sunday, I told my husband I wouldn't buy any more books or wool because we are totally overflowing again. And he laughed. He was right. I couldn't help myself. So I've got another big bag of books to show you and another big bag of wool that I've hidden under the bed. They were both great prices though, so I couldn't really refuse, could I? Anyway, I'll get my camera set up and I'll go through what I got with you.
Hi, I'm Tina. I'm addicted to books. I buy bargain books to read and then resell.
It has been a couple of days since the car boot and my memory is like a sieve, so I will be adding the prices of the books here in the post edit for you to see. I found these two strange books that looked intriguing, The Structure of Magic and The Structure of Magic 2. Weirdly, if you look closely at these covers, the first book has obviously got this lovely cover that they probably had painted specifically for them. And then the second one looks like a really bad scan of the first. How weird is that? Anyway, these two books, obviously a set. They are, from what I can tell, I think it's something about neurolinguistic therapy. So obviously yes, it says a book about language and therapy. And I think it's a bit like I've heard of the lightning process and things like that. So it's neuro-linguistic programming and things like that. Anyway, not really something, well, I might read it, but not really something I'm excited to read. But I did think that as there was two of them and they're a very specific type of books, they might sell well as a pair. And I shall probably list them up on eBay. And if they don't sell too quickly, I might have a flick through them to see what it's all about. And I picked up, oh, and it's really heavy, this set of Game of Thrones, or what should I say, A Song of Ice and Fire. However, there is one book missing, probably because it no longer fit in the case once they'd been read. So I'm looking out at charity shops to see if I can find the missing one so I can make this a proper set. I have read these books, they're excellent. I've got them on my Kindle. So these were bought because they were so cheap. I couldn't really refuse them. And I'm going to have to put them down because they're too heavy. Oh. Yeah, couldn't really refuse them because of the price. They're not in excellent quality, but they might have some resale value. And as I say, as long as I can find the missing one. I don't know if you remember in one of my previous videos, but I think it was from a car boot. I picked up Ruth Ozeki's The Book of Form and Emptiness, and it turned out to be a hardcover first edition signed, which was just a bonus. Well, I've just started reading it, and oh my God, it's brilliant. I'm loving it. So when I saw another Ruth Ozeki book, I had to pick it up because, yeah, as I say, her other books gripped me. So I wonder what this one's going to be like. So pick this one up for a read. No idea if it's got any resale. If they turn out to be ones I'm happy to sell, then I might bundle it with the other one. But to be honest, I'm enjoying the other one so much, I think I might just have to keep it because it might end up being a reread for me. But I'll probably do a review on it when I finished it. So yeah, that one was more for me to read. And the same people were selling their books so cheap that I picked these two up to go with it. Because they were doing 3 for 50p. I remember that because it was so cheap. So I picked these two up. They look interesting. We have The Goffins, Fun and Games, and Lofty and Eve. Never seen these before. They're two books in the same series and they look like fun children's books. Very strange. They probably don't have much resale value, but I thought that they would be a nice fun little read when I'm sitting in the garden. Cressida I can never pronounce her name. Cressida Cowell's How to Train Your Dragon series. This one's How to Be a Pirate. This is one that I was missing from the set. I think I've got nearly all of them now. So yeah, grab that one to go with my set for a read, and then probably put the whole series together. Also to go with my set of Kathy Reichs, I've got The Bone Code. This seems to be one of the newer ones. I think this is probably about the 20th novel. Does it say on it anywhere? No, I can't see it saying anywhere, but I think this is about the 20th one. I didn't, to be honest, realise how many she'd written. So yeah, this is to go with my Kathy Reich set, which is getting nearly complete. I really ought to read the first one soon to see if it's worth keeping hold of them or clearing some space, because they are quite a tower now. So those people that had these big box set of George Martin obviously had a thing about him, because they also had some other books that I bought from them. So they've got the Armageddon Rag. Didn't realise he'd written other things than fantasy. This one's sex, drugs, rock and murder. So that's quite intriguing. It'll be interesting to see what his style's like when he's not writing fantasy. And an amazingly small book for him. He normally writes, like, you know, massive wedges. But anyway, yeah, that intrigued me for a read. And also, oh, that's book 2. So book 1 and 2, Dream Songs. I believe these are short story compilations. So they're called, and they're really cool the way the covers go together. Look, they make a lovely shield when you put them together. And these ones are in pretty good nick, actually. So yeah, George R.R. Martin's Dream Songs. Those will be a read and possibly a resell, I'm not sure. It says here, it's a treasure chest of stories from the last 30-some years. And the book 2 includes the novella The Hedge Knight, which is from the Song of Fire and Ice sequence. So yeah, be very interested to read those. If you have read them, let me know. Tell me what you think. From the same people, I think. They also had a box set of The Hunger Games, just the trilogy. I know she's written another one now, hasn't she? Prequel, which I haven't actually read yet. But as you all know from my other videos, I do quite well selling these. If you can manage to get good condition sets, they sell really well. So I shall be listing this one straight up because I've already got my own copies. But that's a nice box set. So possibly $14.99 on that as it's in a box. And then randomly, further round, I found another set of The Hunger Games, and this time in very good condition, but not in a box. So these ones probably just $9.99. But yeah, they're a little bit foxed. I might have to do something about that before I list them. I think the actual pages inside are okay. I think it's just the real outer edges. Oh, and it's got someone's name written in. But yeah, okay, has some foxing, so I might have to reduce the price a little bit. But yeah, I think in the region of $9.99, maybe a bit less for those. Be able to list them up for. And then another box set, Percy Jackson's Ultimate Collection. So these, oh, sorry, this is really heavy as well. So we have The Lightning Thief, Sea of Monsters, Titan's Curse, Battle of the Labyrinth, and Last Olympian. Pick these up basically to resell because I've already got these books to read, but I thought as they were a box set, they might do quite well. I don't know, possibly $14.99. I'll have to look and see what other people are selling them for, and I will let you know here. That's going to fall over. I have to put that at the back. I randomly picked up Anne Rice, Interview with the Vampire, because I didn't think I had it. And when I got home, I realised I did. It's the second one I'm missing from her vampire series. So that's a little bit annoying. That'll probably be back to the charity shop with that one. Or I might see if my aunt's read it or if she wants to have that, because I know she likes similar books to me. But yeah, I'll also see if it's better the condition than the copy I've already got. And looking around the room, I can't see it. I think it must be in a different bookcase in another room. Right, and then I think you'll probably remember in a previous video I was talking about audiobooks and how sometimes they do quite well. So I probably totally overpaid for these because I thought they might be good, but I don't think so. So I got Nelson Mandela's Long Walk to Freedom. This actually has no resale value, so that'll be a listen and a back to the charity shop. And then I have Harper Lee, To Kill a Mockingbird, read by Sissy Spacek, the 50th anniversary edition. Its running time's 12 hours, so I guess that isn't abridged, but it might be because I think it's quite a big book. But yeah, that's mainly for a listen because I haven't read that. And I don't think it's got a massive amount of value, to be honest, which is a bit of a shame, but it will be a fun listen while I'm gardening. And then The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy by Douglas Adams, just the first book, read by Stephen Fry, sealed new. So I'm going to have to look on eBay and see if the prices change massively, whether they're sealed or if they're opened, because if the price is massively different, then obviously I'll sell it sealed new. If not, then I'll probably open it and have a listen because I'm sure his reading of it would be great. Read the book, love it, read it many times in fact. And watch the old, oh, sorry, that's giving you loads of glare. I'll put that somewhere else. And obviously watch the old BBC series, was brilliant. I think it was BBC. And when I met up with my husband, who often goes around the car boot on his own and then we meet up again later, he said he'd pick me up some books. And he picked up these three because they look like a set. And he actually picked these up because he's interested in them and he's thinking of reading them. It basically says The Hunger Games meets Jurassic Park. So what's not to like about that? One of his favourite authors is Michael Crichton, and he loves The Hunger Games as well. So yeah, these ones were very interesting for both of us to have a read of, and then possibly sell as a set afterwards. So there's The Extinction Trials, it's Rebel, Exile, oh, and then this must be the first one. So yeah, does it say on them? So that's the first one, The Extinction Trials. Not sure if it says in it which is the order. So this one says it's S.M. Wilson's first teen novel. So we have The Extinction Trials, which is obviously the first one. Then you have Exile is the second one, and Rebel is the third one. Yeah, I'd be interested to hear if anyone else has read these. They look quite intriguing, and I'm looking forward to those. So a good spot by my husband. And he also found this set by Marie Lu. I'm guessing the person who was selling these books had a thing for the Hunger Games. Because ironically, as I met up with him and then we walked round, I stopped and picked up the Hunger Games from this lady and bought them, and he laughed and said, and he walked off really quickly as I was buying them, which I thought was a bit odd. When I caught up with him, he said, that's the one I bought the other books off of. So she obviously had a Hunger Games thing going on. So she had the Hunger Games, the Extinction Trials, and the Legend. So this one also says, if you love the Hunger Games, you'll love this. So this looks like a dystopian novel. So we have the first one is Prodigy, I think. Do they have numbers on them? It would be really useful if they put numbers on them so you knew which order to pick them up in, rather than having to keep looking it up every time you go to your bookshelf. Okay, right, so that's not the first one. So the first one is Legend. The second one is Prodigy. The third one is Champion. The fourth one is The Midnight Star. Oh no, that's not right, is it? That makes up one trilogy. And then there's The Young Elites, which is a second trilogy. So we have The Young Elites, The Rose Society, and The Midnight Star. So 2 trilogies, in fact. And I think that these are the first ones, and then the elite ones are the second ones. But yeah, they sound quite intriguing as well. So that's more fun books to read. And I think I've come to the end of the bag. So there we go. A nice little haul. I'll give you the total price. So there you go, that was my haul from the car boot. Also a massive bag of wool for £6, which was a bargain. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please hit that like button if you did, and be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Right, I'm off to read a book.